I'm a face reader, and we are working on a YouTube video. Would you be interested in having your face read?
Yes, why not?
Why not?
Today is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Wow, wonderful. Yeah, great. Well, the first thing that I noticed about you is you have beautiful long eyelashes, like doe eyes, right? Everybody notices this about you. Well, long eyelashes mean that you have a bit of sentimentality. Is that true? If somebody gives you a card, you save it and you put it away and you keep it precious and you come back and you visit it and it brings joy to you?
Yes.
Yes, for sure. You also have pretty nice, strong eyebrows. So I would think that in that case, you are good at decision making. Like you've got this sweet sentimentality, but you also know when to make stuff happen and be direct. Is that true of you?
That is true.
You have beautiful lips, and that would suggest somebody who likes to eat and talk. Are you pretty communicative, if not in English?
Yes, I am. Even in English sometimes.
Even in English, good. I noticed that you have these fine hairs, which suggest that you were pretty connected with your mother. Is that true?
Yes.
And she impacted you, like she taught you how to behave, manners and how to be in the world, and you're probably still pretty connected with her. Is that true?
She's here today.
She's here today.
With me.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, she's helping me a lot in my life.
And the light, yeah. And you're connected, you're close.
Yes, we are really connected.
Really connected.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Invariably, you moved to the United States to escape some difficulty. But would you say that, generally speaking, your hairline is really smooth? That, by and large, your growing up was relatively harmonious? Like, within the family unit, you were protected, you felt safe. Would you say that that's true?
That's true, but I also have the opportunity to get other people that are not my family, but they get really close to me. And they really protect me a lot.
Okay.
I get a lot of advice from a lot of people in my community.
Yeah.
And I feel that they always love me. They always encourage me. It was a lot of people that I will say that they are kind of my family, even that that we don't have the same blood.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that in my uncles, my grandpa, all of them, they were really protected to me.
Yeah, it's interesting because I guess what occurs to me is that with your hairline, it was your family, but it was also the whole community. And in a way, what you're doing now is you're supporting communities, right? You are passing that, you're giving that gift into the world.
Yeah. I've been loved for a lot of people, and some of them, they already passed away. But they gave me that gift.
They gave you that gift.
Passing to my new generation.
Yes, and here you are, paying it forward, giving it to the future generation.
And there is a lot of like you that they call me Tia, but it was my way growing up. I call people that they are no more tios, uncles, and aunties. A lot of cousins that they don't belong to our family, but they came.
But they are your familia, right?
Yeah.
In your hearts.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, you have beautiful cheekbones also in face reading that suggests somebody who has some self-worth, right? It's like you have this poise and confidence such to give back to the world. So
thank you.
Yeah. Did you have any questions? Or?
No, I would like to see the video.
Yes.
And thank you. I don't know, I am kind of surprised. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
You are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for you to see these pictures and the video that we put out there. And then can I give you the microphone?
Yeah.
So we're making YouTube videos of face reading, and I would give you a little bit of a face reading.
Okay.
Well, what I noticed first about your face is that you have very strong will. You've got a really nice chin. So when you need to push through something, you're able to do it, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
And the other thing that first pops out is just in the exchange is that you're skeptical. You how do I say? You soften up, but your first thing is maybe a little hesitancy to trust. Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you have these beautiful lines here, which suggest that actually you have had a lot of joy in your life. So maybe once you get past the skepticism, your heart is pretty open, and maybe that skepticism is a way of protecting yourself. Would you say that that's true? Yeah.
Trees.
You also have, how do I say, do you pluck your eyebrows?
Yeah.
A little bit? They're nice and healthy, thick eyebrows, which could also enhance the skepticism, but also the shape suggests that ultimately your interest is in, how do I say, making things beautiful.
Yes.
For yourself and the people that you love. Yeah.
I love gardening and paint.
Okay, beautiful things, right? Making things beautiful.
I didn't know that I had that in me, but people see that my paintings are super colorful.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so you got some fire. Well, I would say too with your hair, the way that you color it, that suggests a little bit of, flair, right? Like you're painting yourself as a little bit of a flourish, or, little.
Yeah. I used to be a teacher in here, and I tell my kids that, every time when I'm getting ready, I just do a masterpiece on myself.
Perfect.
My clothes, my makeup.
Good for you.
You gotta do that every day.
Good for you. I love it. That's so true. Yep. Also, you have these lines on your nose here, and that is suggestive of somebody you don't buy anything that isn't beautiful. You go for beauty maybe over function, and I'm sure there's some function as well, but whatever you buy, you have to feel like it's beautiful.
Yep. Of course.
I told that to another woman, and she's like, well, does anybody not? And I'm like,
maybe.
It's not everybody has that, so that's kind of extraordinary. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you got me.
So I'm Hilarey. What's your name?
Kaylee.
Kaylee. Well, the first thing I noticed about you is, oh my God, what an adorable face. Like, you have these like really long curly eyelashes, and that would be suggestive from a face reading perspective of, I guess, a particular like sentimentality. Like, you're sweet, and you, how do I say, probably do sweet things for other people, but also you love having sweet things done for you. Like, do you save your greeting cards? If somebody gives you a birthday card, you like tuck it away, especially if it has like nice things written in it?
I hoard them.
You hoard them. Yeah, you can save them, right? Because you treasure them. You also have really big eyes, right? It's like your eyes are significantly open, and that would suggest somebody who's receptive to the world. And then the only how do I say, thing to be cautious of is to be really aware of situations you put yourself in, because your tendency is probably to be generous and open and kind of loving of everyone, and maybe how do I say,
You're just
that's your natural inclination, but maybe not everybody is as sweet, or we shouldn't necessarily be open to everybody, if that makes sense. Yeah. You also have a pretty pronounced nose, which is indicative of leadership ability. And how are you with leadership positions?
More of like a, what do you say, not like a dictator, but like a,
yeah, well, I mean,
someone that like wants input from people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so collaborative. But I would imagine too that with when I think of leader, it's sort of like if you visualize a person climbing a mountain, like you're fine being in the front, kind of leading the charge. And the responsibility of a leader, right, is to make sure that the people who come behind you are going to be safe. So you're kind of blazing the trail in a way, right? Would you agree that that's
sure?
Yeah. And when you smile, you have a pretty broad smile, and that also, I think, complements your eyes and suggests a certain level of like openness.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and then your cheekbones are really beautiful and somewhat prominent, and that's suggestive of good self-esteem. It's
well, cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions for me, or
no? That's cool.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I'm Hilarey, by the way.
Hi, Hilarey. Amanda.
Okay. Well, the first thing that pops out when I look at your face from a face reading perspective is that you have these gorgeous cheekbones, and cheekbones, according to face reading, are very much associated with self-worth and lung health. And so there's also a little bit of padding there, like they're nice and plump. Do you do fillers or anything like that? No, well, you're lucky. And the suggestion with that is that you are very comfortable being a boss, but also being boss, but also bossing other people, right?
Are you listening to this? Okay.
Is that accurate? Would you agree? Yeah. Kind of bossy, but it's like in a how do I put it? It in a harmonious way. It's not some people, like my mom has cheekbones that are no flesh, and it's like, you do not boss her. She does not like to be told what to do. So, but in your case, it's like you can boss, but you can also be boss. There's like that give and take, right? Yeah. The other thing is that you have a really strong willpower. You got these awesome jawbone, and that would be suggestive of really strong, when you put your mind to something, you make it happen. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
You're also really lucky. Your nose bridge is really pretty wide, and that would be suggestive of the ability to handle large sums of money. Is that true?
I guess.
Like you can, how do I say, you can take it in, like maybe work in a position where you get significant amounts of money and then know how to be responsible with it, how to handle it. So the nose, if you visualize, is sort of like a piggy bank, and so where the nose bridge is, if it's wide, you could take in more, and then the deposit would, or should say the exit point would be the nostrils, and your nostrils are, it looks like
they're small.
They're small, yeah. And so in that regard too, you could, it doesn't just go through you, right? It's like you're judicious and conservative and cautious, I would imagine, with how you spend.
Accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So there also is, how do I put it? Like, there is definitely like an earthiness about you. Like, how do we say? Your forehead is pretty broad. It's like, if we split the face into 3 sections, your forehead is like pretty broad, meaning that you're probably pretty like quick mentally. And then the middle section is considered to be like the how do I put it? The earthiness, I suppose. And the lower part would be your like willpower, determination, also strong like genetic inheritance. The other thing about the nose bridge is that it's also kind of about like one's constitutional like fortification. So I imagine that with the combination of the nose bridge and the strong jaw, like, are you pretty athletic? Like,
I mean, I do a lot of gardening.
Okay. Historically, do you have a background in like sports or?
Not really.
Not really.
I rode horses.
Pardon?
Like I rode horses.
Okay, well, I would say that that's extremely athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, it requires a pretty hardy constitution to ride horses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about your creativity? Tell me about your creativity. Like, what do you do for a living?
I work on my family's ranch.
Okay.
And
a ranch person. Yeah. Like, this is like, I don't know, when I think of like people who grow up on farms or in ranches, like there's definitely a hardy constitution.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, I guess my creativity is the, like, how I make my living. I've kind of scratched out a niche for myself on the ranch, and, creatively made businesses so I can be able to live there.
To live there. Okay, right. Because there's, I mean, how do I say? I'm just thinking, like, I watched Yellowstone, and it's a little extreme, right? But it's hard to hang on to that ranch. So what kinds of creative things, like making things from the like earth that, like more like the way that the property is used, like being like renting out campsites and like having events on the property, and just like different alternative uses of it rather than just great
traditional
ranching. Great. Well, that definitely how do I say, like, and I imagine too can handle business really well, right? Yeah. And I guess, again, like, if you're having a big event, for example, you take in a lot, and then you have to be very judicious about how you disperse it later. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess those are the things that pop out.
Cool.
Do you have any questions or?
No, thank you. That was really interesting.
Okay, great. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. What's your name?
Joel.
Joel. I'm Hilarey.
Hi, Hilarey. Pleasure to meet you. And
Lachlan.
Lachlan?
Yeah.
Oh, pleasure to meet you both.
Thank you. Historically, face reading is a branch of Chinese medicine.
Oh,
and
interesting.
So essentially it was, developed by the emperors to kind of, I guess, figure out friends and foes, but also to help people find like the right positions for themselves. And I don't know, I guess the suggestion is that your face is a treasure map of your life.
Ooh.
And one of the first things that I noticed about you is that you have these beautiful lines, which
Oh, thank you.
would suggest actually that you have developed a lot of joy in your life. Would you agree with that?
I strive towards that.
Yeah, and it's complemented nicely with not too much sorrow, because these lines that come down here would be suggestive of sorrow. And it looks like you've had a little of that, certainly. I mean, in a way,
everybody does.
who hasn't? But you've how do I say, moved through the world in such a way that you have you've been able to embrace the joy, I would say.
I've had very good role models.
Have you?
Oh yeah, very good role models.
Yeah.
I've been very blessed in that fact.
In that fact.
Yeah.
Good. Is this a mole next to your nose?
I think it is.
So that actually is suggested, like it's not temporary. It's like been there for a while.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so basically it's like not acne or something. You can cut that part out. But that actually suggests when we have moles in different areas, a mole next to the nostril is suggestive of somebody who is actually decent with handling money.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, also your nostrils are pretty large, and that would suggest somebody who's pretty generous, right? Liberal with spending it, but also able to handle it. Like I have a girlfriend she's a single mother. She's on a very tight budget. She has a mole on either nostril, and she was told something else about them, but but to be able to manage, like being a single mother with 2 children, like she has made it work, right? Like she's figured out how to handle, if you will, the probably small amount of resources in a way that has accommodated everybody's needs. So would you say that is true?
I'd say that's pretty true of me.
True. Yeah.
I learned to live within my means, and I don't have to worry about money.
Perfect.
I've figured out a way that money doesn't control me.
Yeah.
I'm able to control it.
Perfect. And that would be like, that's a lucky mole.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? To have
I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, and also it sounds like you're lucky in having developed that skill, because let's face it, like a lot of people are, haven't figured that one out yet, right?
Well, the school called life has said, well, here you go. Lesson number 1, 2, and 3. Now it's up to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, pretty practical.
Yeah.
It looks like you're a really good listener. Your ears are pretty close to your head. Would you say that that's like?
I would say that is true, because this might be interesting. When I was in the service years and years ago, I was a journalist and a photojournalist.
Okay.
And when you're a journalist, you probably know, you listen.
Yeah.
Little talking, right questions, but listen a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you've been able to, and then out of curiosity, obviously that was something that you did a long time ago. Have you employed that skill?
I think, well, as far as like a career, no, but more as a life skill, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's more important to have as a life skill.
Yeah. Also, you, along the line actually of the ability to handle resources, you have really, how do I put it? Your ears are fairly narrow, and that would be suggestive of somebody who is probably not interested or likely to take big financial risks or physical risks.
No,
not interested in either of those, and that's because they're narrow. If they're more rounded or larger this way, then it suggests somebody who is more comfortable there. But the other thing that you have that's really lucky, I would say, is that you have really nice full earlobes, and that suggests that you don't have to worry about money, which you already told me, but because you'll be taken care of when you need it, if you need it. So
that's good to hear, because I've tried to do that. Again, I've had expert help. You have questions, go to the experts, trust them, and I'm kind of at that point right now.
Yeah. The other thing that I noticed is that your eyebrows are a little bit sparse, and that's suggestive of liver health. And so I guess if you were a patient, or just from a health perspective, it would be wise to be cautious with too many toxins, be it medications, alcohol, things that we ingest that the liver has to process. You're I don't know, are you a lightweight if you drink at all, or?
Oh, I might have, this is with a meal, about this much spirits.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's it. Because,
never smoked.
Yeah.
No crazy recreational drug use. Zero artificial stuff.
There you go.
Kicking sugar is a tough one.
Yeah, for me
That's a
too.
tough one, but it's kind of like, well, if I can't pick it or clean it, I don't want to put it in my body.
Smart. Well, what I love about that is that it feels like it's intuitive to you, like you just know this.
Yeah.
And your face also kind of follows that up or confirms it, if you will. Yeah.
And that's just advice I got from a woman, a good friend of my mother, that was a master gardener. She did it for 30 years, and she always drilled into me nutritional density. That's in stuff that comes out of the ground or comes off the tree.
That's good advice.
If you do that and, don't do crazy stuff, you'll be A-okay.
Yeah, it's really true. Yeah. And then from a face reading perspective, another thing that I noticed is that you have a really round face. And round-faced people tend to be like, jovial, harmonious. People, you're comfortable around people. People like you, you're trustworthy. Have you moved through life in that way also?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That comes from being in a large family, though.
Okay, yeah.
I've had 2 older sisters who I respect highly. I got 2 younger brothers, and extensive family. It's kind of like, well, when you come from large families with large, I would say, personalities, you either adapt or I've learned to adapt. Yeah.
But I would also think that this is natural to you as well. I mean, my mom's one of 9. Not very many rounded faces, and I mean, they can be pretty harsh with each other, right? I mean, as
that's true.
Probably families all can. My mom says, families and dysfunction are synonymous. That's her, right? But I mean, I suspect that you were probably like that as a kid as well.
Oh yeah.
Just like
my parents said, I was just always so happy.
Yeah.
Always so happy.
Yeah. It's like, you bring that forth into adulthood. You haven't been, soured by life. It's
no. Yeah. And I have a very active imagination.
Yeah. That's
maybe
good.
that helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I imagine with a lot of, siblings, right? If one is easy to be ignored, but I'm sure that you were a joy to your parents in terms of what you brought to your family in terms of that ease. But I'd also be curious if this is a genetic trait in terms of the roundedness of your face. Like, do your siblings and parents have more rounded face? Or?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So you're probably like a happy family, right? Like, everybody's probably got some of that.
Oh, in general, and happy. And, we all have our baggage and whatnot, but I guess we try to find joy in life.
There you go.
It's easier to smile than frown.
Right.
Basically.
But I have to say, not everybody has that.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
a lot of problems would be solved if people smiled more.
That's really true.
Even as strangers.
It's really true. Yeah. Well, do you have questions for me?
No, I just find this very fascinating. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's there's branches, of course, Chinese medicine, but in East Indian philosophy they incorporate, but it's sort of like nature, right? Form follows function, and that goes for all of us, right? Like how our body is shaped and the length of our fingers, right? That somebody on our YouTube channel, I put that if a person has a wide mouth, they tend to be able to eat large meals, whereas if we have smaller mouths, we prefer and
that makes
can
sense.
only digest small meals. And somebody's like, oh, that's bullshit. And I was like, he's like, does that mean that if you have big hands, you touch everything? And I was like, well, actually, the people that I know, my brother has huge hands. And he's a builder. He's a very tactile person. He wants to physically make stuff, right?
Well, that makes sense because he has that ability.
Exactly.
He's just going to it's a natural.
Yeah.
I can grab this, I can grab this, I can handle this. Yeah. That makes sense.
And he wants to, like, it's his nature, right? And so anyway, and of course that goes for birds, right? Like the beaks are precisely designed to whatever.
Get that nectar.
Exactly.
Get that worm.
Of that particular plant.
Right.
Get that bird. Exactly. So, yeah. But anyway, it's sort of, it is taking that kind of concept and, expanding it.
I like that idea, though. It makes you feel like you're disconnected with everything.
Well, yeah, and then also how we have I mean, what I love about it is that like we have these natures that are innate to us, and so I don't know, if somebody said, "Oh, you should be more serious," it's like putting your a square peg in a round hole, right? It's like you can't. It's not what's natural to you, and ideally, right? There's a how do I say? We need all of the different expressions.
It's true.
Yeah.
Quack, duck, don't quack so much. Good luck with that.
Yeah. And then I think as humans, we maybe, get influenced by other people, or we get influenced by, societal norms or preferences, or, it's like not everybody should be a leader, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. And, not everybody should, I don't know, be a CEO or whatever, right? But it feels like maybe the underdog is not maybe treated as respectfully as but whatever they're doing is what it's important for them to do.
I guess what I could say about my life at this point is I figured out how to be very happy to be in my own skin.
Perfect. And that's the goal, I think.
And that is the goal.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Keep the stress down.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Keep the stress down. That's also going to be helpful for health all around.